Episode 7 of Elite Season 7, titled Just Hug Me, begins with Omar having a nightmare. Joel checks in on him, but Omar feels pathetic as he feels responsible that Joel is stuck with him out of guilt. Joel assures him that is not the case and hugs him. They get a boner and say they shouldn't do anything but end up having sex. Chloe moves in with Raul and they go live. However, he ends it as she licks her lips and he tells her not to act slutty. She gets upset and he says it is for her own good. She then tries to talk to Ivan but he ignores her. Meanwhile, Dalma warns Joel to be careful with Omar, who keeps acting lovey-dovey with him. Roberta tells Isa that they have dirt on Duran and also warns her that Didac is playing her. She is just worried for her daughter and tells her she needs to back off from the family business as it is dangerous. Meanwhile, Raul tells Chloe to dress normally to fix their image. He also notices that Sarah is lurking from a fake account and watching his live streams. Isa rants to Didac that she cannot trust anyone anymore and her parents have made it worse. She starts suspecting Didac too, but he swears he is not working with her or his family. Rocio tries to talk to her mom, but when she brings up the bribes, Duran thinks Rocio is threatening her. Rocio wants to move out and asks Nico. He is worried about Eric spiraling because of her but agrees to let her crash. Meanwhile, Sonia and Eric mock Chloe for letting Raul control her, including how she dresses. Raul shows up with lunch and Chloe is weirded out but doesn't say anything. Carmen tries to confront Chloe but she just avoids her. Sarah shows up to get her stuff and she comments on Chloe. Raul thinks she is jealous but she just scoffs. Meanwhile, Omar again gets touchy but backs off when Joel gets awkward. He starts joking about emotionally blackmailing and Joel being stuck in a vicious cycle where he can never leave as he feels responsible for Omar. Joel looks troubled and Omar promises not to complicate things. But they end up having sex again. As for Raul, he invites Carmen much to Chloe's chagrin. She lashes out but he tells her that to fix things she needs to talk to her mother. Rocio has dinner with Nico's family, and she appreciates how they are all so loving and communicative. Eric is overenthusiastic and acts like being medicated is the best thing, which worries her. While hanging out, Isa shows Didac the papers of Duran trafficking babies and Luis tells him to take photos of the documents. Rocio checks in on Eric and apologizes when he tells her not to question his decisions about the meds. They get close and are about to have sex but he realizes that he cannot get it up due to the meds. Frustrated, he kicks her out of his room and then gets angry with himself. He goes to an old hideout, burns his medication and buys coke. Carmen is furious with Raul for changing her daughter, but he simply says that Chloe is her own person. He takes a selfie to clear the air and smirks when he notices that Sarah has seen it from her fake account. He texts her and she gets nervous. With Carmen still in the dark as to why Chloe is angry, the latter finally reveals that she knows about Ivan and told him everything. Raul is smug as he tells Carmen to leave Chloe alone for a while. Carmen is furious but he shuts the door on her face. She texts Ivan that they need to talk. Meanwhile, Dalmar calls out Joel for sleeping with Omar to keep him happy. He says Omar is manipulating him because he is in love and Joel is a pushover. He adds that Omar should take responsibility for his own life and Joel looks troubled. Joel goes to bed and Omar hugs him. He tries to push him away but Omar doesn't move. Raul too cuddles Chloe, who is uncomfortable as well. Carmen texts her, asking if she knows who she is. Angry, Chloe texts Eric and they meet up and have sex. He is stoned and is blasé about the whole thing. She then asks her mother who she is while sending photos of her panties. She cries while having a bath and then goes back to Raul, who is asleep. As for Joel, he texts Ivan and they decide to meet up. While Isa is asleep, Didac takes the photos of Duran's documents. Joel shows up and says he needs Ivan but wonders what he needs. Ivan says he needs someone good like Joel and they hug. They make out but Joel is scared about Omar. Ivan asks what he wants and Joel says he wants to be with him. They promise to focus on each other, and they have sex. The next morning, Rocio sees that Eric is not home. He ignores her calls and she tells Nico it may be her fault. Meanwhile, Luis learns that the documents are fake. We then see that Isa put a CCTV and she watches Didac taking photos of the fake documents. At home, Omar breaks down on thinking that Joel and Ivan are together and feels pathetic. Dalmar calls him out and tells him not to drag down Joel with him. Ivan finally agrees to meet Carmen but keeps it short and curt. Despite the DNA, they are not mother-son and he knows she is there for the money. He keeps goading her till she agrees to his offer of $2 million. He says they never have to see each other again and she cries. Elsewhere, Omar leaves a voice message that he is moving in with his parents, but he will be fine and thanks Joel for everything. On seeing the empty bedroom at the end of Elite Season 7 Episode 7, Joel tears up. The episode review: how is it that Raul has not learned his lesson and is doing to Chloe what he did with Sarah? He loses control and then pretends it is either the girl's fault or he is doing it for her own good. Someone needs to set him straight or kill him off. In Elite Season 7 Episode 7, Raul says all the right things and acts sweetly with Chloe, but the sliminess is just not easy to get rid of. As for Didac, oh boy, he shouldn't have messed with Isa. She did say she cannot trust anyone. And poor Didac fell right into her trap. By the way, why is Omar messing with Joel? Is that the only way for him to be written off? And finally, Dalmar is the only one with some brain cells. That man should get some more screen time, maybe make him a regular the next season.